Welcome to the newest episode of Papi Polite Gaming Show. I still can't get enough of watching my background. It's so beautiful now. I still need to put some stuff up, but anyways, guys, today is my game of the year episode. So the thing is, um, another thing you should know is I'm going through some pain right now. I've got like a stomach virus going on, so I'm not 100%. So I'll be a little low energy compared to what I usually am. So I apologize. But um, let's talk about the game of the year. Um, I am also going to cover my thoughts on the PlayStation 5 that I got recently that I've been able to play, like Dragon's Dogma 2 and Elden Ring on, as you guys have been able to see if you've watched any of those Let's Plays. But I'm going to talk about that in the questions segment at the end. So shout out to Plasma for wanting me to kind of talk about that. I just decided to put it as like one of the questions that the community can ask me, and add it to that section at the very end. So I'll talk about my first impressions of the PlayStation 5, after we're done with the main topic, which is basically the game of the year. So I'll be honest, I have a top three list, and this isn't necessarily I would say it's a very surprising list or very crazy, only because there's really three games that I played this year that count as like the game of the year for 2024. Um, so yeah. And I'm not going to say the names because until I go through which one's third place, second place, and first place. But it's probably pretty obvious, honestly. But I'm going to talk about these three games. Every other game I played this year have all been games that were not released this year. So these are the only three that I can actually put on this list technically. Um, so let's talk about it. So let's get started with the number three choice for the game of the year. This is kind of like a top three sort of video, but the number three is going to be Dragon's Dogma 2. So there's a couple reasons why Dragon's Dogma 2 is third place. One is because I literally only have like 10 hours in the game. So I can't really be fair if I put it as the number one choice, although it definitely has the potential to do so. If you already know, Dragon's Dogma, the first one, is one of my favorite games of all time. Dragon's Dogma, I played and beat that game, Dark Arisen, um, literally four times. So I love the game. There's a couple things I never did in the original game, which I've talked about before. But when Dragon's Dogma 2 got announced, I was more than freaking ecstatic about it. Now, I knew I wasn't going to be able to play it for a very long time because I didn't have any hardware that could actually run it. And as we all know, Dragon's Dogma 2 has, ever since it released, it has had the same issue of basically it's just a monster of a game and it runs like crap. No matter if you have the highest end PC, it still doesn't run like 100% like it should, basically. And so, and the good thing is, by the time I actually got the PS5, which was it's been like 2 weeks now or so, um, they've actually improved the performance of the game quite a bit from what I've heard and from what I've seen. So I personally haven't had any issues with it in terms of performance. I've been having, I mean, I'm not in like a crazy big area. I haven't gotten to any big areas yet. I haven't fought any super crazy enemies just yet. So that might be a reasoning as to why, but at the same time, I think it's because they actually updated the game. So Yeah, so I guess I came in at the perfect time for to play it. But the reason specifically why Dragon's Dogma 2 is my third, number 3, or even on the list, um, is because the game is incredible. I, again, being a huge fan of the first one, I can see all of the similarities and all the improvements, and it legitimately feels like a like enhanced, improved version of the first one in terms of like with the combat, like even with just the fighter, because I've only used the fighter so far. The fighter has much more moves that he can learn, from what I can tell. Very creative, sort of attacks, and just the feeling. And this is one of the reasons why I've gravitated toward the first one, because when I played Dragon's Dogma 1, there was a lot of really good games out, like Dark Souls and like Skyrim, for example. Um, but Dragon's Dogma felt the most satisfying in terms of like physical combat and magic. Like magic in Dragon's Dogma is incredible. It feels super good, and same with physical combat, especially because you're able to like, scale giant monsters, and fight them in different angles, not just like 2D format. You're literally like able to do a lot more in terms of combat, and it feels incredible, right? And like I said before, if I would have put more time into this game, I probably would be my number one. But yeah, now the only thing that is a little annoying, and I know that you could probably turn it off so it's not like a big deal, is that the pawns, they repeat the same stuff every freaking minute. I swear. It's like every minute. It's not even like every 5 minutes, 10 minutes. No, it's like every minute they repeat the same stuff. And I will say there are pawns that I've hired that have been pretty useful, because they like were like, we get to a new area and they've been there before and they know where like a rift stone is at, or a treasure chest, and so that's actually been very, very helpful. um and so that's nice. I've very much enjoyed that. um but yeah, but basically, like, the pawns do annoy me, but at the same time I'm pretty sure there's like a setting I can like, you know minimize how much they talk or whatever. I remember doing that in the first game, so I just have to kind of play around with it. It hasn't annoyed me to the point of like utter frustration where I've like, you know, like I needed to learn how to turn it off. I know it seemed like on my playthroughs, it seems like I get super annoyed, which I do, but it's more of me just kind of performing a little bit, to be honest. So I don't like it, but I don't absolutely like hate it with a fiery passion. So that's why I haven't changed it yet, but I'm pretty sure I can change it. So I just gotta do that. But the game is absolutely gorgeous, man. I'm so glad I can actually play it finally. Like, I'm obsessed with it. It's like super just beautiful. The graphics are incredible. Absolutely incredible. Um yeah, and like I said, the combat is incredible. The quests have been really fun. The exploring aspect has been so freaking just um just absolutely rewarding, and just so like just like so fun, like absolutely fun. I love that there's like barriers for certain things that you can only get there with certain type of skills or abilities you have to like equip or whatever. I love those things because it gives the game more depth. It feels like there's so much more that you can do in the game, and I just love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm super enjoying it. Like, super enjoying the game. And I cannot wait to keep playing. And so yeah, definitely stay tuned for more live streams for that game, because I definitely will be live streaming this game more, as much as I can. So yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2, number 3 on the list. Let's move on to number 2. So number two is obviously going to give away number one, but it's okay. Number two is Mario and Luigi's Brothership. Mario and Luigi Brothership. So I have actually been wanting to play this game for a very long time. Like, so I played it when it first came out. I played a lot of it. I live streamed it and then I played it quite a bit during that week before Dragon Quest III HD-2D Remake came out. And I absolutely loved my like time with Mario and Luigi Brothership. I will also say, like, I definitely changed my live streaming sort of schedule to fit like Dragon Quest 3 H2 to remake Nuzlocke challenge. But on my personal time, whenever I did have a little bit of time, I was still playing Mario and Luigi Brothership. Up until I got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore, and I just needed to start a personal file of Dragon Quest 3 HC2D Remake with like my own personal file, no Nuzlocke challenge, me just enjoying the game. But I almost didn't want to. Like, I wanted to keep playing Mario and Luigi Brothership because it was so good. It was so fun, so colorful, so charming, so hilarious, and just like the battling, especially like definitely it was like a lot more um like just colorful and interesting, and so much more effects, and the graphics in general, like with all the character models and all the enemies and the world, everything was just so fun. I loved it. I still love it, and I want to continue playing this game. I really, really do. I'm still not 100% done with my personal file with Dragon Quest 3 HC2 to remake, so that's why I'm still trying to hold off and then go back to Mario and Luigi Brothership. Um, but yeah, I am absolutely like in love with the game. This was a game, and you guys should know this by now. Like, if you follow this franchise at all, but this was a game that was a complete surprise to all and every like everyone. Like, nobody knew. Like, everyone thought that there was probably going to be some sort of announcement, but everyone was going to be like, oh, it's probably going to be like a remake of something or whatever. No one thought it was going to be a new game. And so this was a complete surprise. And for me personally, it was a great surprise. And I absolutely love it. It's been a lot of fun. I cannot wait to keep playing. Um, I've laughed so many times, like the story. I mean, the all the Mario and Luigi stories, even all the RPGs, all the Mario and Luigi RPGs have such fun dialogues, such funny characters, and this game is no different. It's like so much fun, and I can't wait to keep playing it. But yeah, so for all those reasons that I mentioned, that's why I put it on my number two for the game of the year. And yeah, that's basically it. So let's move on to number one, which should be no surprise to anyone, but Dragon Quest III HD-2D Remake. Now, the game itself has been a game we all in the community have been waiting for like 3+ years. It was announced several years ago in on like I forgot what year it was the for the anniversary of Dragon Quest, but it was maybe the 35th year. I don't know, but they announced it on that live stream. And it seemed like it was going to be like maybe a year away or something, but it took a whole 3+ years. Now, from seeing the screenshots that they released in that game, in that like initial announcement compared to what it looks like now, it's obvious they've been working like crazy to make this game look as beautiful as it does, because the graphics were very different, like compared to what was announced and what we got, as a final product. So, and like, I still would have loved, I still would have totally enjoyed what they showed off 100%. I think it's great. I think it looks great. But the new version as well looks fantastic. It looks gorgeous. I mean, the absolute just beauty of the world is astonishing. I just love the graphics of like the world of, this game. The way that they remade it is just stunning. It's so gorgeous. I love it. And I'm playing on the Nintendo Switch, so that says a lot because we all know the Switch is the you know, least powerful system that this game is on. So it's even then it's absolutely gorgeous. So that's one thing. The game constantly takes my breath away. I need an inhaler because I'm over here trying to catch my breath and I can't because the game is gorgeous. But yeah, besides that, the upgraded battle system, the effects, the animations, the graphics, and then all the little extra details they've added as well in with the story, for example, all the extra little story bits with Ortega and your mom, and all the extra bosses, for me have been really really fun. All the new content they've added has been really fun to experience. Now I know that there's a lot of people that have had trouble with some of the bosses, like the Dying Flame boss fight. For some reason, and I still don't know exactly why, I did not have a hard time with that boss fight at all. Now, I am naturally somebody that likes to grind quite a bit, so I don't know if that was something to do with it. I really don't, but I basically online and in the Discord, everyone hates that fight, and I honestly did not have a hard time with it at all. I've had other fights were harder, like even the Garboil. The Garboil, a lot of people were like, "Dude, how was the Garboil fight?" I'm like, I mean, it was fine. It wasn't that bad. But again, it could just be that I was I've grinded quite a bit, and so that's what I'm thinking is the reasoning as to why I haven't had so much of a hard time compared to others. But yeah, I actually love all the additions of this game. Everything they've added to it is fantastic. I love it. Now, this is all me talking before experiencing the post game. So the thing is, I already know because I've been told basically the post game is basically hell. um, so I'm looking forward towards it just to experience it, but I'm also kind of interested as in why, because literally everyone, like I don't want to say hates it, but they just feel strongly have been left a strong bad taste in their mouth because of the post game. So I don't know if it's necessarily the post game or if it's the trying to 100% the game. I should probably figure that out before I say anything else, but that's just kind of what I'm gathering overall. It's just the post game just sucks. So we'll see. I have yet to go there. I have yet to be there. Um I'll talk about in my next segment where I'm at in the game itself, but basically I have yet to experience it. So I will get there soon and maybe my opinion changes, but as of right now, Dragon Quest 3 HD-2D Remake is my number one favorite game this year. It wins my game of the year sort of prize. And yeah, I'm so excited for the 1 and 2 remake that comes out next year. So excited. So excited. So I can't wait for that. But yeah, that's basically it for my game of the year conversation. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Are any of my games on your list as well? Did you make a list? What does your list look like? I would love to see what it looks like. Let's talk about it. But anyways, let's move on to the next segment, which is basically where I'm at in terms of progression, in terms of what's going on with what I'm playing and stuff like that. Um, yeah, so let's talk about Dragon Quest 3 HD-2D Remake since we've already basically brought that up. But basically, I am still in Tantagel or Tantagel, whatever. Excuse me. I am currently going to every cave. I'm exploring the map in Alifgard. That's where I'm at currently. I still have not fought Zoma. That's the last thing I'm going to do where I'm at currently. Right now, I'm literally just going around, going through every cave and dungeon and all of that, every city. Right now, I'm in the Craggy Cave, um, on the west side of the map, close to where you land when you first get there. But yeah, I've already explored the north part, not in the waters, but like the north part of the actual island. And then to the left, I've been down the cave of the hero or whatever. I went to Gallon's home, and now I'm currently in Craggy Cave. So that's kind of where I'm at with Dragon Quest 3 HD-2D Remake. Like I said, it's been a blast. I have loved it so much. I just cannot wait to keep playing that. So I will eventually beat it, hopefully in the next couple weeks, because I do want to do a review for the game. But I want to at least beat Zoma before I actually get the review out or actually work on the review. So anyway, that's my goal. Besides that, I'm playing um, um, Martin Luigi Brothership. I like played for like a couple minutes, but that's it. So I'm not really gonna count that. And then besides that, I'm also playing, as you guys should know by now, Elden Ring, Dragon's Dogma 2, and then I'm doing the Nuzlocke challenge for DQ3. So basically, Elden Ring right now, I am. Where did I finish last? I'm basically. Let's see. I'm still in Limgrave. Oh, that's right. I went to the west, like the coast, and I followed the Ratatouille's quest line. I'm just calling him Ratatouille. I went through there. I went to like the little dragon island. So I checked that out, and then now I'm not gonna go to fight Margit just yet. I'm gonna do that after I explore Limgrave. But I'm actually kind of contemplating going south. Before I go south, I go east to the rest of Limgrave, where I know that there's like a couple different things that way. So I'm in the south right now, I believe, but I'm kind of currently thinking maybe go east before I go south. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm super enjoying Elden Ring. It's definitely a game that I could see myself putting at the very top of like my one of my favorite games of all time. It's absolutely gorgeous, so much fun, so much depth to it, and I'm very much enjoying my playthrough of it. My second playthrough, technically. The first one I never beat, unfortunately. I didn't even get to the school, Rio Lucaria or whatever. I literally was just like, I was exploring everything around the school. That was like the last thing I did on my PC. Explored everything around the school, and then I was about to go into the school. That was my next step. I was going to go into the school, but I never made it into the school. So this is a new playthrough. I'm literally going to be doing everything I did before, like exactly, and I'll eventually make it into the school and continue progressing that way. But that's where I'm at right now in my current playthrough. So anyway, Elden Ring, fantastic game. Yeah. Also, Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm currently I was making my way towards the big like capital city, but I almost died very, very badly. And I was able to escape from all of the different freaking just it was just insane how many monsters there were that at one point I was being chased by. Like it was ridiculous. I was being chased by so many different monsters, skeletons, just it was insane. And I'm surprised I literally was able to escape, and I made it to being able to buy a freaking tent, because I cannot believe I did not bring a tent with me. I was saying it the whole time I was streaming, like, oh my gosh, I didn't bring a tent. That's stupid. And the thing is, I thought I was going to reach the next city way earlier than I thought where the city was at. Then I realized where the city was at on the map, and where I got to, which I felt like was super far away, was literally only halfway to the city. So I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go back. I'm not ready to continue. I gotta go back. I need to grab a tent. I need to get my pawns again because all of my pawns died. So that's what I did. I literally went back and luckily I was on the way there, on the way back to Melv. I literally found a merchant and I bought a tent off of him. So I was able to get, heal, like actually heal, and I was able to get my pawns back from a riftstone. So it worked out, but I was so close to dying, so close to dying. And one thing I've noticed that with this game is that I barely save. I'm like so invested in the game that I like, which is crazy because I usually save all the time. But I think I'm just not used to it with like 3D games. Like with 2D games, I will save like all the time, like all the time. But like with this 3D game, I think it's like I don't know, it just doesn't cross my mind as much as it does with like a 2D game. But anyway, so yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 is absolutely incredible. I'm so glad I finally was able to play it. I'm gonna be playing this game forever, dude. Like I understand it's a huge game. I can tell it's a huge game. I cannot wait to keep playing this game. It's gonna be incredible. I'm gonna keep enjoying it. I know I'm gonna keep enjoying it. So yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2. So Dragon Quest 3. Let's talk about my Nuzlocke challenge. So unfortunately, since the last time I talked about the Nuzlocke challenge, I have had two deaths, Olaf and Thew2. So I am so sorry to Thew2. Olaf, I don't care that much about because freaking Dranik tricked me into. It was basically one he created. Apparently, it was some important German person from history, but they got me. So him dying was not that sad, unfortunately, just because I felt cheated anyways that I created him. But yeah, but as of right now, I'm taking anyone that wants to be in the party. There's a little bit of a line right now, but it's not super useful, like, or it's not super long, I guess I should say. Um, and honestly, I might get to a point in this challenge where I might not even need any more party members. You know why? Because I have decided to change up my tactic. I have been currently grinding, progressing the story, and if somebody dies, go back, grind again so they can level up, get back to the same part of the story, and then try and progress a little bit more. Unfortunately, what I've seen happen multiple times, I can't even get back to the spot I was at before somebody else dies. So, and it's happened multiple times. I'm basically not progressing at all because I'm in a spot right now that is just much harder than everything else, and it's taking a lot longer to progress. I don't think I've actually progressed for like the last 3 streams. So what I am going to do starting now is I am going to drop off all of my party members, and I'm literally going to just solo run it for now. Yes, I'm going to solo run it up until I can actually I'm to a point where I can like basically grind the party members I have to a decent point, maybe even up until I get like the angelic robes. Like I'm gonna solo it for a while, dude, because I'm so sick of people dying. I've had way too much people die, and I'm sick of it. And so I'm going to solo run it for a little bit. Excuse me. I am gonna freaking solo run it for a little bit, and so that's my plan. That's what I'll be doing next time I play this game on stream, and hopefully it goes well. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But that's kind of where I'm at right now with that. So anyway, that was everything in terms of catching up with what I was gaming. But I want to talk about a little bit about anime right now. So, because this segment is basically what I'm playing, what I'm watching, what I'm doing, right? So let's talk about anime because I love anime. And right now, there's 2 shows that I'm actually watching. Dragon Ball Daima, which I'm watching every time a new episode comes out every week. I'm watching it with my kids, which is fun. Right now, Vegeta's fighting against Tamagami number 2, and he just got swallowed by a kraken. So we will see what happens in the next episode, even though I already know what happens, because I've seen screenshots and stuff. But yeah, it's getting really good. It's such a fun show. I'm very much enjoying Daima. It's really, really good. Um, yeah. But the show I'm obsessed with right now is a way older show called Hajime no Ippo, The Fighting. So I think there's two different like types of Hajime no Ippo. There's one that starts off where he's like already the champion, and then one that's like as his actual beginning. I don't remember what the one where he's the champion, which one that's called, but the one I'm watching now is called The Fighting. I actually already watched the one I where he's already the champion. I've watched all of that and I loved it. It was absolutely amazing. But right now I'm actually watching The Fighting, which is like where he starts off and everything. And it has been so good. I'm obsessed with it. I'm watching a couple episodes every single day. My kids love it too. It's funny because they complain, they're like, again, Hajime no Ippo? And then we watch it and they're like boxing, they're pretending to box and like they're training and stuff like that. Like we all do a little bit of training and stuff. It's super motivational. I love it. And so that's the anime I'm super obsessed with right now. And it's so freaking good. Right now, Ippo, the main character, is going to fight in the rookie cup. He's in the final fight. He's gonna fight Mashida. And so right now it's kind of like the period of showing who Mashida actually is. Is he really bad or not? It turns out he might be a little crazy, but he's not necessarily evil. He's got his reasons as to why he needs to win and why he cheated basically against Miyata. So yeah, but it's good. It's so good. Oh my gosh, Hajime no Ippo. You guys got to check it out if you haven't. Yeah, it's a boxing anime. I think I already mentioned that, but anyways, yeah. So that's it for what I've been watching, doing, blah blah blah. Let's now go into the questions that I have from my Discord people. So the first one I'm going to answer is actually going to be, so this time I have Coldy and Adam that have asked questions. So thank you. Shout out to you guys. But before I ask those questions, I want to talk about my Plasma's question, which is basically my first impressions of the PlayStation 5. So, I mean, I'm sorry. You have to witness that, guys. It was quick. I just had to get some boogers out. So basically, PlayStation 5 first impressions. It's great. So he mentioned that like I've said before I wasn't gonna buy one, stuff like that, blah blah blah. But the thing is, I meant that because I genuinely didn't think I was gonna buy a PlayStation 5 ever. And that's because the thing is, listen, so I know I talk about this as an excuse a lot. And I don't mean to because I don't like hate my situation of like, and honestly, my situation is not even a bad one. Like, sure, I don't get to play as much games as I used to. I don't have enough time to do that. I barely even play games. Like, I need to make an extreme effort just to play for 15, 30 minutes. And it's tough. It's really hard. And again, this is like dumb problems that like honestly, sure, some people might see them as real issues, but they're not. Like, there's pros and cons to everything in life, right? Right now, I'm going through a period in my life that I have much more important things to do with my time. And that involves raising my kids. And because both me and my wife work full time and we don't want to find a babysitter, because we want to spend as much time with our kids as possible. We very, very, very strongly believe in just the importance of being good parents, trying to be the best as we can as parents, being very attentive to try and have our kids grow up, you know, as healthy as possible, physically, mentally, emotionally. Because in the world today, from what I've seen from growing up and also what's going on today, a lot of people have so much emotional problems, so much mental instability, so much addiction to so many things, so many problems. And I always see it go back to the same thing. It's always, for me personally, I just feel like it's a lack of just support from their parents or from people they view as like um loved ones, or like, but like true attention, because like you can ask somebody, oh, how's your day or whatever, and like sure you're getting, but how do you always answer that question? Nobody likes the person that says, oh, my day sucks, like, like, oh, this happened to me today, blah blah blah. It's like, dude, listen, like, I don't think you should answer that question with "Mo, my day sucks," blah blah blah, unless you're talking to somebody that you can trust and you can actually dump your feelings onto. But some people don't have that. Some people don't trust in other people's enough, or they don't have that situation, and then they develop a lot of really just sad depression and like emotional problems and just all these things. I've been through it myself. I mean, I've been through so many different things emotionally, and just so many different problems that I've had. And I love my parents to death. I'm not trying to like, blame them for anything, but I know that a lot of things that I learned from my parents were things that I didn't want to do as a parent. And so because of that, I have learned and decided to become a much better parent to my kids and be more attentive, but not in like the annoying way where it's like, oh, you need to do this, this, and this, and this. I am very strict as a parent with my kids. There are lines, there are things that they can't do. There's things that I take as opportunities to teach them, but that's the difference. Is I am always trying to teach them, like, because I've been through so much in my life, so many different situations, so many things I've learned, that I can with a lot of confidence say, listen, this is not good for you, this is not good, what you're doing here is not good, what blah 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 blah. And so, but I also have the understanding that I know that I cannot just tell you that and expect you to do it, right? Like, everyone has choice. That is one thing that God blessed us with, is the freedom of choice. We are all able to choose what we want to do, and sometimes it's not the best choice. There's better choices, there's best choices, and then there's okay choices, then there's bad choices. And so all of these things I understand. Everyone has free agency. Everyone has like things that they can do that are better. Are you improving yourself every single day? Are you trying to be a better person? These are all questions I have learned and try and ask myself every single day, all the time. And I try to very much be as best as I can, not just as a person, but as a father, as a husband. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And especially with my kids. Like my kids, I am 100% committed to helping them try and avoid a lot of the problems I had as a kid and a lot of the problems I see in the world today. There's too much depression, there's too much anxiety, there's too much all this stuff. And I feel like a lot of it is because people just are accepting these things too much and trying not to improve themselves or get out of situations or be better individuals. But it's not necessarily their fault. They don't know how to do it. And so I'm trying to be that person to where my kids, I develop a respectful sort of relationship with them to the point where they can trust me. I want to be their friend, but I also am here to show you what's right and what's wrong. And because at the end of the day, and this might sound dumb and like, kind of controlling, but I just want what's best for my kids. It's that simple. And I know that's what the case is for many people that care about us. But a lot of people just think about themselves. Unfortunately, they just think about themselves, and they don't realize that that causes other people issues, problems. And so basically, I went on this huge rant, but the point I'm trying to make is that I we are committed to our kids 100%. Are we perfect parents? No. Are we perfect people? No. But I am 100% committed into raising great boys, great men that eventually will be great fathers, great husbands, and great members of whatever community they decide to be a part of. So that's my goal as a person, as a father, and I am trying to do that. And because of that, I can't do a lot of the stuff that I absolutely love to do. I can't watch a lot of anime or play a lot of video games like I used to do before I was married. I spent all day playing games and watching anime, playing sports, doing a lot of stuff, but I can't do that anymore. And so my point is, I said that about the PlayStation 5 because I genuinely didn't think I was ever going to buy one, because I never thought I was going to have time for it, because I just don't have time. I just don't have time. My time is used up on things that are much more important to me personally. And it's not a bad thing. Like, sure, I want more time to play. I want more time to live stream. I want more time to make videos. I want more time for many things. Do my certain specific projects of like my Phoenix Quest card game, for example. I want to dedicate much more time to that. But I can't. And that's okay. I'm okay with it because I know that I'm also being like, my goals are still like what I'm using my time with or for is something that's not just benefiting the people I'm trying to help, but also myself. I've grown a lot ever since I've become a husband and a father, and I'm very proud of who I've become. And so again, sure, there's some sacrifices, right? Like gaming and all that, but I'm okay with it because I feel like I'm doing something very good with my time. So at the end of the day, I didn't think I was going to buy the PlayStation 5, but I still did. And thank God I did, because I love it. I love my PlayStation 5. It's been a lot of fun. I had a PlayStation 4 before the hand. The Xbox 360, I had that, and then I switched over to the PlayStation 4 because I've always been much more attracted to like the exclusives of certain consoles, and it's Nintendo and PlayStation. Those are like my favorite consoles because they have so many good exclusives. And so that's why PS5 was just kind of like a no-brainer for me. But also, the biggest thing is everything, all the cards just kind of aligned perfectly. I got my bonus, my end of year bonus, and the PlayStation 5 happened to be on sale. And I was like, you know what? Might as well. And so that's kind of what happened. But because like my last year's bonus, I used that on my Nintendo Switch OLED, which was fantastic. I'm glad I bought that. So, anyways, that's kind of why I bought the PlayStation 5. I'm absolutely enjoying it. The games on it I've played so far are incredible. And again, shout out to Plasma because he bought me Demon Souls. So thank you so much. Now, again, will I be able to play that anytime soon? I have no idea, but I'm looking forward to the day. I will tell you that, because that is one of two Soulsborne games I have not played. I've played every single one. I have beat every single one. I have platinumed several, and you know, Demon Souls and Sekiro are the only two games I never actually played. So, yeah, I finally got Demon Souls. Thank God. Thank you to Plasma. Appreciate you, brother. But yeah, so we'll see when I play it. But anyways, that is the answer to that question. That was a very long rant, and I apologize. But I just wanted to make sure you guys understood my priorities and why some things, why I didn't think I was gonna get a PS5, but I ended up, the cards aligned perfectly. So even though I can barely play it, but again, totally fine. So, anyways, let's move on to the actual Discord questions. These questions are questions that anyone can ask me. They just have to be a member of my Discord, which, if you want to become a member, you just go, there's a link to the description of this video. You just click on that. You can join my Discord. It's called Papi Polite Discord. And there's a specific channel called Ask Papi, where you can ask me up to 5 questions. I will be answering these questions every single week. They can be anything that you could just totally be memeing and ask the dumbest things, which I've been asked a lot of dumb questions, which is totally fine. I enjoy it. But yeah, anyways, so, and you can ask me very elaborate, like very, very smart questions as well. I'll see if I can answer them. I'm going to do my best to answer these questions, is my point. So, anyways, let's go on with the first set of 5 questions from Coldy Snapdragon. The first one is, would you rather stop world hunger or achieve world peace? Would I rather stop world hunger or achieve world peace? So if we achieve world peace, we'll naturally achieve world hunger. We'll naturally stop world hunger. Because if we are truly a planet of peace, that means that everyone is getting along. If everyone is getting along, that means everyone naturally is helping each other out. So there should not be any hunger at all. Our world is full of ways that we can benefit ourselves. And if everyone is at world peace, then we will find many different ways to just increase and elevate our living standards by a lot. So I feel like we all know that in a group, if everyone works together, they can accomplish many, many great things compared to if everyone's working against each other. So if we truly can achieve world peace, I believe there would be no world hunger. So there's the answer to that question. Number 2, would you rather stop and revert climate change or undo colonialism? So my problem with this question, or with both with both questions, is 2. You could easily say I would rather stop this or I'd rather stop that. But the thing is, so revert climate change, you're basically, that's literally impossible. Like you're basically playing God. Well, in both of these situations you're playing God, because you're basically making it like the world is a living organism. Like it's going to be changing all the time. Like why we need to adapt with the changes, And so yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can come up with technology that could better like increase our survival. Like if we had world peace, we could definitely do that, and we can adapt better and quicker to whatever situation is going on around the world. So yeah, I would not want that power. Basically, I feel like I would rather everyone work together. So yeah. And then undo colonialism. I'll be honest, I don't know 100% what colonialism is. I'm assuming it's like, when a race of people overtake another race and blah, blah, blah. And then they, spread their seed or whatever. I don't mean to make it sound barbaric. Although that's basically what it is. If it's that, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But you would be removing what people can or can't do. Obviously, that's a horrible thing, technically. But there's a lot of things that we've seen progress in the world because of it as well. So I'm not, I would just not, I would not want any of these powers basically, because I strongly believe in the freedom of choice of people. And unfortunately, some people get the short end of the stick. That happens all the time around the world. Um, and so, yeah, I don't know how to answer this question. Basically, I would say neither, because the man upstairs has a better and more thought out plan than I could ever come up with. So I'm just trusting in him. Although obviously we see a lot of heartbreak and horrible situations. Uh, but yeah, it's part of life, unfortunately. So here we go. Free bad healthcare or good unaffordable healthcare? Um, it's a good question. These are good questions. I would say that's a good question. The thing is, I personally, for example, we don't have healthcare. It's way too damn expensive. So, but we've had many situations where we've had to go to the hospital many different times with many different situations. Um, and we've always luckily been able to minimize how much we pay with financial aid and still receive the care we needed. So, my personal opinion about healthcare in general is that it's basically BS. I've been able to, like, I've racked up a scary amount of medical debt. Not me personally, but my family, as in like me, my wife, my kids. And some people would probably be paying for that for the rest of their lives, but I have been so fortunate and blessed to find ways around it because I don't have health care. So yeah, I personally, I don't care. Like, free bad healthcare sure might be a little bit beneficial just so you can have some care, but at the same time, good affordable unaffordable healthcare might be good. That's what it is right now. I mean, well, no, it's not, because it's not good healthcare. Our healthcare system is absolutely broken. But anyways, I don't know. Great question. Honestly, your three questions, well, two of them, one of them I've been able to answer, but two of them I have not been able to answer, and I apologize. But I hope you understand why. So there you go. Desert or snowland? Okay, this is a good question. I prefer, most of the time, being hot compared to being cold. But in if I had to live in one specific, like, setting for the rest of my life, I would probably choose Snowland. I would probably choose Snowland. I've lived in very harsh winters myself, and I know that there's people that have probably lived in worse, but um, it's doable, you know. And what scares me more about the desert is there would be less resources. Where Snowland, there should be more resources. Um, so yeah, I feel like Snowland would be better overall. So yeah, that's my answer to that. What is the worst part in every game ever? For me, it's underwater stuff. Um, Worst part of every game ever. Hmm. Underwater stuff, huh? I only think about that when I play Mario games. But like Dragon Quest, like I don't have any problems with underwater stuff, even though you can't really do underwater stuff. Like Pokemon, it's kind of annoying because like it's really slow in the underwater sections when you can do underwater stuff in some Pokemon games. I don't really know. What's the worst part in every game ever? Hmm. I would probably say, the beginning is one of my favorite things about any game. Um, but if a game is too long, then that also sucks because you never finish it. And finishing a game is very rewarding. It feels rewarding, you know? So, but at the same time, for example, me personally, I'm trying to make a tabletop RPG game. And I want this game to be never ending, basically. My goal is to create an MMO tabletop RPG. And so I kind of don't want the game to end in a way, you know? But I will admit that when games are too long, it just like I just want to move on, you know? And so it's really hard. So I don't know if I necessarily want to say like games that are too long. Like in my perfect world for gaming, I would love to just play one game for the rest of my life. One game. And that game to be so amazing, so good, so incredible that I can always play it. And I only think about playing that game. And there's so much to do that you can literally play it for the rest of time. Now, MMOs technically are that concept, but there's never been one. Well, Dragon Quest X kind of has a little bit of potential for me in that regard, just because I love Dragon Quest so much. But unfortunately, it's not translated to officially translated for us, which sucks. But yeah, I don't know, man. This is a good question. I would say if the game holds your hand too much. I hate when games hold your hand too much. That's one reason I think I absolutely adore the Soulsborne series. It does not hold your hand. It is unforgiving as all hell. And I love that. And so if a game is too handholdy, I immediately don't like it. And so I think that might be a thing that I could say for this answer. Because I can't really think of anything else, to be honest. If I think of anything else, I will let you know. Maybe I made this question to be way more complex than it was supposed to be. So I apologize. If I had to answer the question in a very simple way, I would say if you get to a point in a game where it restricts your movement, how about that? Like for example, desert areas, or even okay, if we're talking Soulsborne, I'm talking like swamps, poison swamps. They suck. They suck because it restricts your movements. You also get poisoned. You're losing HP constantly. Like if you're strong enough, you don't have to worry about it. And also, if you have like a poop ton of like antidotal herbs or whatever, you're good. But usually, swamps suck. I'm gonna say that. That's my new answer. That's my new answer. Swamps, poisonous swamps, to be very specific. There you go. Okay, that was the last of Coldy Snapdragon's questions. My goodness, you have asked some killer questions this time. Okay, Adam West. If you were in a horror movie, how long until you get killed? Or would you be one of the survivors? That's a good question. Okay, so every single horror movie, it's always they always do everything the wrong way. Um, yeah, every single one. Now, I will admit I have not watched enough horror movies to be able to tell you like to be able to try and find the solution for every single one. But my thought has always been if you can kill the killer, you win. So, obviously that's probably not the case in all of them, But if you can kill the killer, you win. So if you were to put all of your heads together, everyone in the group, and figure out a way to kill the killer, who cares if you killed someone? Who cares? He's trying to kill you. Kill the killer, and you're done. You win. He might be way stronger. Dude, there's always way too many things around in like a horror movie setting that you could not use as some sort of weapon or just like a setup or a trap or something. So my answer would be I would just try to kill the killer. So, yeah. Now if I get killed during the process, okay, whatever. But yeah. So, I don't know if I answered your question or not, but anyway. Have you seen the movie Fred Claus? If so, did you like it? I have not. Well, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I've seen it or not. It sounds familiar, but it also, I don't know. If I've seen it, it's probably been very long. It's been years. I don't know if it's a new movie or not. If it's a new movie, definitely have not seen it. If it's an older movie, maybe I have. I just don't remember. So, yeah, sorry. Which planet, including Earth, is your favorite and why? I would say only Earth. Oh, excluding Earth. Oh. Hmm. Which planet, excluding Earth, is your favorite and why? I would say probably Mars, only because it seems like we can potentially turn it into another Earth. So, yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay. Have you ever heard any aspirations of being president of the United States? Have you ever heard, have you ever had any aspiration? No, no, absolutely not. No way. No, no way. Have you? If you could live in any other state in the U.S., money isn't an issue. Which state would you want to live in and why? Hawaii. I would say Hawaii, or I would say, oh, dude, South Carolina is gorgeous. South Carolina is absolutely gorgeous. I feel like South Carolina is so underrated. It's super, super beautiful. I also like Texas. So yeah, Hawaii, Texas, or South Carolina is what I would say. Yeah, is what I would say. And also going back to number four, listen, I do not like to put myself in situations where there is people that are liars, people that are playing games for corruption purposes, people that only think about themselves, people that are just trying to get ahead and they screw over other people. Every government in the world, there is people like that involved. And I absolutely cannot stand those people. And so I do not want to be a part of anything ever. Like that's a big reason why I have so few actual friends today. Like living friends, I have very, very few friends. And mostly because I'm sick of people. I'm done with people. Like I do not like people. I don't want to make new friends. I don't want like at all. Like I'm cool with the people I talk to. I'm cool with the people I talk to. And I absolutely enjoy all of you guys as well. But that's it. Like I hate deception. I hate lying. I hate like and that's the thing. I have grown up in a way where I can tell when people are lying. When people don't want what's best for you. When people are just full of poop. I can tell. It's very simple for me. Very simple. Those people I had got rid of a long time ago. And slowly it just the list of people I actually see are it just has reduced to very, very, very small because Yeah, the world is full of people that do not give a crap about you, even though they should. They might be people that are super close to you. And it's sad, but it's reality. And I learned that a long time ago. And so the moment I smell BS, I'm out. I'm out. And so, no, I would never put myself in a situation where I know there is BS currently going on everywhere, no matter what party. Even if you're Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. There's BS everywhere. Everything. So, no, I would never, ever want to do that at all. So, there you go. Okay, guys, this was my longest episode yet. These were all the questions I had. If you want to ask a question, again, just go ahead and head over to my Discord. Link to the Discord is in the description of the video. Ask away whatever you want. You have up to 5 questions. I will answer them in this segment of my podcast, my weekly podcast. I have been successful in uploading a podcast episode every week for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So, big accomplishment. You know, I've been able to find some time on the weekends to do this. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. And we will see you on the next one. Okay, stay safe out there, guys. Happy holidays.